so in love with you.
Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. And you guys, in any definition, this video is bonkers. We're going to take a look at some more indicators that our housing market right now is cooling down, possibly headed for a crash. I feel it's headed for a crash, but we're going to review some information and an article from Redfin on how many sellers right now are currently relisting their homes for lower. So in other words, sellers are losing their grip on this market. We're headed into that transition into a buyer's market, and it may be time to buy again sooner than you think. If all of these things, if all of these factors that are coming into place that are causing the market to cool down remain unchecked, then we're going to have a whiplash-like situation, and we're going to go into an extreme buyer's market. And that's what I'm kind of planning for, whether it's extreme or not. I'm currently renting, looking for a primary residence. As you guys know, what I decided to do instead of cashing in on my house is I converted it to a rental. I'm sitting out with my children and my wife, and we're waiting for the dust to settle in the market. So it's important to constantly review the data to make sure that we are buying at the right time. And I don't think necessarily right now is the right time, but it's getting better. Things are already cooling off, which is astonishing because the Federal Reserve has done very little. And if you guys can remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm an opinion sharer, realtor in Houston, loan officer in Texas. And if you could like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And I always appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart for your comments. I learned so much from you guys. A lot of my videos are based on your comments and your insights, so continue to do so. Take a look at this article from Redfin right now. Housing market update. Share of sellers dropping their asking price climbs past last year's rate. This was April 7th, 2022 by Tim Ellis, okay? And this article is going to be in my description, as all the articles I reference, they're always in my description. You guys check them out for yourself. Now look at this. This is cool, you guys, especially if you're a buyer like myself. This is good news, right? For us, this is good news. 12% of homes for sale had price drops in the past 4 weeks, the highest level since early December, suggesting that a seller's tight grip on the market is starting to loosen. High five, you guys. High five to that. We will be rewarded for our patience. I keep telling you guys that. Do not start buying real estate based on fear of missing out. That's one of the worst things you could do with your money. You can lose a ton of money. You can be trapped in your house upside down. Better to pay a higher interest rate than overpay for a house. Remember that, okay? For so many reasons. Selling it, for one, you can't sell a house if you're upside down in equity. Think about that. Now, we're going to go on to the article right now. A fast-growing share of home sellers are dropping their prices. Another sign that early 2022 housing frenzy is starting to ease as mortgage rates approach 5%. 12% of homes for sale had a price drop during the first 4 weeks ending April 3rd, up from 9% a year earlier and the highest share since early December. The rate of sellers dropping their prices is growing faster month over month than it has since August. This is some relief, you guys, if you're like me on the sidelines. This article continues. Price drops are still rare, but the fact that they are becoming more frequent is one clear sign that the housing market is cooling, said Redfin. It goes to show that there's a limit to sellers' power. There is still way more demand than supply, and buyers are still sweating, but sellers can no longer overprice their home and still expect buyers to clamor at their door. That's because higher mortgage rates are eating into home buyers' budgets. As the cooldown continues to set in, it is important that sellers price their home carefully. Homes that sit on the market for several days, it used to be for several months. This is crazy. So it's a little bit, I don't know, the sense of urgency is here to sell houses, but maybe it is. Maybe if you want to sell your house, you should do it right away. The article goes on. Homes that sit on the market for several days have a scarlet letter that makes them more difficult to sell. Buyers should be wary of bidding significantly over asking on newly listed homes and to take a closer look at the homes that they have been on the market for more than 1 week. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Redfin, for not saying buy, or you're gonna miss out. Thank you for not adding to the fear of missing out. Are you starting to see more news outlets, more people covering the transition from seller's market to buyer's market? So it's really not a question whether or not our house market's going to cool down anymore. The question is, will it cool down so much that it will lead to a crash? And as you guys know that I have been predicting, a recession will be the catalyst to pop the bubble that we are currently in. I believe, in my opinion, obviously, I believe that we are in a massive housing market bubble right now because of the scarcity of inventory. It has escalated beyond fundamentals. The equity has surged beyond anything that is fundamentally sound. So I believe people are going to pay for that. So again, calm down. Don't buy things out of emotion. Let's continue reading this very hopeful article right now. Other early indicators signal that home buying demand is continuing to soften, especially in expensive coastal markets. Year-to-date growth in home tours measured by showing time fell 3% compared to last year. When Easter caused briefly interrupted home buying activities, mortgage purchase applications fell 9% from last year and were down 3% the prior week. Massive declines in the mortgage applications, you guys. Redfin's seasonal adjusted home buyer demand index, which measures requests for home tours and other services from Redfin agents, has been flat for the past month. Further evidence that home buyer pocketbooks are not a bottomless well. You see what I've been saying? All the people that have been freaking out, saying, oh, you have to buy or it's going to be too late. Do you see the writing on the wall? And I'm not talking to you multi-million-dollar investors that can afford to hold through up and downs of the housing market. I'm talking to normal people that inflation really hurts us, right? And buying an overpriced house would also hurt us. Let's continue to read the rest of this article right now. The slowdown over the last 2 weeks has felt significant, said Seattle area Redfin real estate agent D. Usually April is when the spring home buying and selling market begins to heat up, but this year things are cooling down a bit instead. Listings that a month ago would have had a dozen interested buyers touring in a single day now sees less action than that in a whole week. Potential sellers are deciding to hold off in the midst of the market uncertainty. Home buyers are telling us that they are disengaging from the market because they've been priced out of the market by both rapidly raising home prices and rapidly raising mortgage rates. That said, the market still feels very hot, and as things slow down, it just means homes might only sell for a few thousand over asking price instead of hundreds of thousands and multiple offers when 3 or 4 instead of 30 or 40. You guys, this is another indicator that fear is actually leaving the market, which is a good thing for our housing market to kind of settle down. There's a lot less desperate people. There's going to be a lot less multiple offers going into the year. But the market is still quite toxic. Okay. So I'm not saying go run out and buy right now, but what I am saying is if you are waiting for a good deal, if you are waiting to purchase real estate, hope is near, and it actually may be nearer than I originally thought. Now, as you know, I always appreciate you guys. That's going to conclude the video. I hope you guys got some more nuggets on indicators of the housing market cooling. Sellers are already dropping prices in some areas. It's going to expand into the nation. You guys just stay patient. Again, thank you. Now, if you're out there investing in real estate, I wish you luck and I hope you win.